Have you ever felt like you're fighting alone, in silence, with no one understanding the struggles you're facing? In a world filled with noise and judgment, do you have the strength to face your challenges without seeking empathy or validation from others? The answer isn't to search for confirmation, but to overcome on your own, to work in silence, and let your success speak for itself. It's only when you learn to persist by yourself that you truly discover your inner strength. If you want to know why silence is the key to growing stronger and more resilient, don't miss this Keanu Reeves motivational video. Not everyone understands your pain. There are moments when you feel completely alone, when no one can truly grasp what you're going through. It's when you're drowning in deep sorrow and all others see is the surface, or even worse, they don't even bother to notice. You may face challenges, fight every single day, but sometimes the people around you fail to see the effort you're putting in. They don't feel the pain you're holding inside, the weight you're carrying that you must endure alone. And then there are those who, instead of understanding, seize the opportunity to mock you, to ridicule you. For them, your pain is nothing more than a game, something for their amusement, something to make them smile. Have you ever felt that way? In the middle of a fight no one knows about, while others view it as a mere play, a funny scene in their eyes? Yes, some people simply don't care about you. They only care about their own sense of amusement as they watch you struggle with your hardships. But even so, you have to accept the truth. Because life isn't always going to have people on your side. Some will only see what they want to see, while others may never understand the weight you're carrying. We must learn to live with that, to endure the judgmental glances, the criticisms, and, most of all, those who don't care about your life. Sometimes, it's your pain and your silence that will speak more than any explanation you could offer. Remember, the pain you endure doesn't always need to be understood by everyone. The most valuable thing you can do is to prove your strength through action, not by seeking empathy or acceptance from those who don't understand. Every steady step you take in life is the clearest answer to all the doubts and challenges you face. Sharing your struggles with others can sometimes feel like opening a door to a part of your life that they were never invited to. You can't just pour out all the painful things, the things that only you truly understand, because not everyone deserves to know. When you open up, you might be letting someone into your private world that hasn't made the effort to truly understand. No one has the right to know the deep sorrow you carry inside, unless they have proven themselves worthy of your trust. This doesn't mean you have to keep everything to yourself or close yourself off from the outside world. You don't always have to keep it all to yourself when you're struggling. However, choosing who you share with is crucial. Choose those who truly care about you, those who are ready to listen without judgment, without turning your story into gossip. A close friend, like Harry Potter and Ron Weasley, who have always stood by each other, even in the harshest situations. They don't just listen, they understand. They don't just share, they empathize. You might find comfort, solace in the arms of a trusted friend, but sometimes don't let too many people know about the struggles you're facing. Because in this world, not everyone can comprehend the severity of the problems you're dealing with. They might just see it as an interesting story, a brief complaint, without realizing that behind it lies a world of hardships you endure every single day. Remember, sharing doesn't always bring relief. Sometimes, you'll feel lighter when only a few truly trustworthy people know what you're going through. Those who don't look at you as a tool to satisfy their curiosity. That's why you have to be careful. Not because you don't want to share, but because you deserve to be treated with respect and understanding. Hardships, challenges, they aren't meaningless obstacles, but precious lessons that make you stronger. Every time you face a storm in life, no matter how strong the winds, you find the strength to stand tall. That's the essence of challenges. They don't come to make you fall, but to forge you. Like grinding stones, difficulties refine you, helping you become a better version of yourself. You might not realize it right away, but in the toughest moments, you'll learn to stay strong, to see things from a different perspective, and grow every day. Without challenges, you would never know the true strength you possess. Surely, you've heard the story of Thomas Edison, who experimented thousands of times to invent the electric light bulb. Each failure didn't discourage him. On the contrary, it was a step closer to success. Each time he stumbled, he learned a new lesson, a new way to do things. And in the end, all those hardships led him to a groundbreaking invention that changed the world. When you face difficulties, never see them as roadblocks. Instead of feeling overwhelmed, consider them as opportunities to develop yourself. Think of the ancient warriors who, when going to battle, never avoided hardship. It was those challenges, those fierce battles, that made them heroes. If life were easy, you would never know your limits, and you would never realize the true power you can achieve. Isn't it through challenges that you learn how to grow? So, every challenge you face is a precious opportunity to sharpen yourself, a solid stepping stone for you to grow. Remember, challenges are not meant to pull you down. They are meant to push you up. Only when you overcome those obstacles will you truly see the value of perseverance and the priceless lessons they bring. Silence, at times, is the greatest strength you can possess. Not everything you do needs to be explained or spoken about. There are times when silence is an indispensable part of your journey towards self-development. Instead of talking a lot, just act. Let your actions, your steady steps, show the world who you are and what you're doing. When you work in silence, with no noise, no show-off, you are truly building your inner strength. That's a power that doesn't need to be demonstrated on the outside, but can only be felt within you, in your continuous efforts, in each firm step you take, even though no one sees it. Just like towering trees that stand strong amidst storms and rain, there's no need to shout to assert your existence. They simply anchor their roots deep into the earth, reach upwards, and grow. And when the storm is past, everyone will see that the tree still stands, stronger than ever before. Silence is not weakness. It's the power of patience and perseverance. You don't need to explain to the world what you're doing or the challenges you're facing. Your actions and results will speak for themselves. Looking at those who have succeeded, you'll notice that they rarely share the hardships they've endured. Steve Jobs, one of the most influential figures in the tech industry, didn't need to explain every step he took. The products he created spoke volumes about his vision and effort. In the same way, you don't need to justify or explain your journey. As long as you stay focused on your goals and continue to take action, people will see what you're doing and the success you achieve. There's a saying I always live by: silence is golden. It's true. When you persist in silence, you not only save energy for the things that truly matter, but you also cultivate an invaluable inner strength. Silent action is a message more powerful than any words. You don't need to explain. You just need to prove it with tangible results and the progress you make. Your actions will say it all. When you go through pain and hardship in life, never share them just because you seek empathy or comfort. Pain, no matter how great, will never be alleviated simply by seeking validation from others. The desire for understanding is not wrong, but don't let your pain become a tool to beg for attention or pity. True empathy is not something easily earned, and not everyone will fully grasp the depth of what you're going through. Only when you find people who are truly deserving, those who have shown they understand and empathize with you, does sharing become meaningful. These people don't just see you as a story. They see you as a person with all your struggles, desires, and unyielding beliefs. I think of Harry Potter's story. When he faced challenges, he didn't easily share them with anyone. Only Ron and Hermione were truly worthy of his trust, the friends who had always stood by his side through every storm. They didn't just listen. They felt the loneliness and pain Harry endured. They were the only ones who truly understood. Don't let your pain fall on deaf ears. Sometimes, keeping silent and only sharing with those who truly understand you, not because they need you, but because they can offer you genuine comfort, is what truly matters. Only those who have proven they deserve your trust, who won't abandon you when you're struggling, can truly stand by you during your weakest moments. So, when facing pain, don't rush to share it with anyone just because you want comfort. Share only with those who you know won't trivialize your pain. They're the ones who will help you grow stronger, not make you feel weaker. Just like the heroes in literature or life, they always knew how to choose true friends, those who could understand and walk alongside them. When you decide to face challenges alone, even though you may feel lonely or exhausted, that's when you're building strength for yourself. Sometimes, life doesn't allow us to wait for help from others. Every challenge you overcome, whether small or large, is a solid brick in the foundation of resilience and independence. Those moments when you stand alone, whether in the face of storm or under the blazing sun, are the crucial times when you realize the hidden strength within you. It's like the story of Nelson Mandela, who spent nearly 3 decades in prison fighting for freedom and justice. Not because he lacked support from others, but because he understood that independence and steadfastness in the toughest times were what would bring him closer to his goal. Facing adversity is not about creating a shell of loneliness, but learning to stand firm, realizing that you, yourself, are an endless source of strength. Never think you need the approval or sympathy of others to overcome challenges. Sometimes, people only see weakness when you rely too much on their validation. Walk your own path, no matter how difficult. Only when you take control of your life will you understand the true value of freedom and independence. That's something only you can provide for yourself. Remember, just like a tree must rise from the earth, you must be strong and self-sufficient to grow. Finally, don't let weakness or fear make you lose the ability to stand on your own. What you need is not pity or advice from others, but trust in yourself. When you no longer seek external validation, you'll realize you have the strength to face and overcome any challenge. Let this life be a journey where you learn to become stronger and more independent with each passing day. Loneliness is not something to fear. It is not emptiness or a cold wind sweeping through your soul, but a precious opportunity to rediscover yourself. When you stand alone in a quiet space with no one to lean on, you are forced to confront the deep thoughts and emotions within you. That's when you realize that the greatest strength doesn't come from external encouragement, but from within. In those moments of solitude, when no one is watching, you begin to understand more about your abilities, limits, and untapped potential. You may have heard the story of Steve Jobs, a man who changed the world of technology. But few know that in the early years of Apple, Jobs faced numerous failures and isolation. He was fired from the very company he founded. And in those moments when it seemed there was no way out, it was loneliness that helped him find a new direction. Jobs didn't seek empathy from anyone. He sat alone, thinking and rediscovering his passion, his creative power. It was in those quiet moments that he was reborn and created the steps that changed the world. For him, loneliness was a hidden source of strength. Similarly, you'll never truly know how strong you are unless you have moments alone to test yourself. Loneliness is not a lack of affection or external recognition. It's when you find faith in yourself and what you're capable of doing. Only when you stand firm, finding your own way, will you experience the incredible freedom of your spirit. And not everyone can easily see that. Indeed, in those quiet moments, when no one is beside you, you learn to trust in yourself. If you know how to embrace it, loneliness will become the fire that nurtures the invisible strength within you, helping you grow stronger each day. So, don't be afraid to face loneliness. It's the moment when you can truly listen to your inner voice, to discover strengths and abilities you never thought you had. Loneliness is the tool that allows you to understand yourself better, to find your path, and reach for your dreams. See it as an opportunity to assert yourself, not a challenge to avoid. When you begin your journey, there will always be doubtful looks, unspoken questions about your abilities. Difficulties and challenges that seem insurmountable will appear, like dark shadows blocking your way. But remember, every time you move forward, whether slowly or quickly, that's progress. You don't need to explain or prove everything to the world, simply because, in the end, success is the only answer to all those doubts. Just like the story of Thomas Edison, who relentlessly tested thousands of times to invent the electric light bulb. Despite failing countless times, he never spoke to justify those failures. And as a result, his silent efforts led to an invention that changed the world. People mocked him, said he would never succeed, but Edison proved that success doesn't need to be explained. The bright lights around the world are the testament to his quiet persistence. Similarly, in life, you don't need to talk endlessly about the struggles you've been through, nor do you need to criticize or complain about the challenges ahead. Just stay silent and keep working. True strength lies in the quiet steps you take, not in words. Every day, you work with determination. Every tireless effort will paint a picture of success that no one can deny. When success arrives, no words can truly express it, because success is the only answer to every doubt. So, don't worry when you feel alone in this battle. Don't be afraid when you can't see the light immediately. Keep your faith in yourself, walk silently, and let your actions speak. When you achieve your goal, every question, every doubt will fade away. Success will make everything clear, and you will realize that all you need is perseverance and relentless effort. Life, by its nature, is not always easy, and it will constantly test you. Every step you take, every decision you make, could bring unexpected difficulties and challenges. However, instead of seeking comfort or sympathy from those around you, you can choose to remain silent, continue striving with determination, and let your success speak for itself. Because when you have no more words to say, your actions will be the clearest proof of what you've been through. We all know the story of legendary figures like Michael Jordan, who was once cut from his school basketball team. But instead of feeling sad, he stayed silent, poured all his energy into practice, and went on to become a sports legend. Early failures didn't knock him down. And it was that silent persistence that proved to the world that action always speaks louder than words. Likewise, in your own journey, don't seek empathy from those who don't truly understand you. Don't let praise or pity distract you, because only you truly know your own journey. Sometimes, simply staying focused and pressing forward is enough. Success doesn't need an explanation. It will speak for itself, loud and clear, stronger than any words. Therefore, the greatest belief you can place is in yourself. Don't let the doubts of others or temporary failures cause you to falter. Everyone has their own path, and you're the only one who can define your destination. Don't let anyone or anything make you doubt your own abilities. Stay silent, keep working, and in the end, success will be the answer, the clearest evidence of what you've dedicated yourself to. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. We all face difficult moments, but the important thing is to remember that true strength doesn't come from the recognition of others. It comes from the ability to stand firm in silence, to overcome challenges, and to move forward with trust in yourself. Remember, every success, every growth comes from the persistent steps you take in your own life. If this story has touched your heart, don't hesitate to share it with us. Let us know about your journey, the struggles you're facing, so we can work together to overcome them and create future videos that address the issues you're encountering. We always want to hear from you and help you grow stronger every day. If you found this video valuable, don't forget to like, share, and leave your thoughts in the comments. And if you haven't subscribed yet, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on future inspirational content. Together, we will continue to grow and develop. Thank you once again for being with us. And remember, you're never alone on this journey.